Welcome to the Homeworlds Live Winter League. I'm your host, Babamont. Commentating with me is Bruno. We're going to be replaying a game from last week between Will and dlwillson.
It's that game 161.
And here it is on the screen. Number 161. Let's go ahead and start.
All right. For
To
me,
be,
it's a
to be
complete.
clear, this is a replayed game. This is not. We are not watching at the same time that this game is being played. We're watching in the archive view, and so I am controlling the pace at which the game is being shown on the screen. Will
So,
went first.
okay.
Oh, and
Blue yellow.
I believe I have. I'm sorry about this, but I have got the players' names in the wrong places on the share. Let me
You do?
try again.
I'm not sure. Turn.
Alright, I think that's correct now. It used to be that the player who went first was always shown at the top of the screen.
Hmm.
But not anymore. Now they're at the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, no, actually. Oh, no. Okay, when you are watching the game live, the player who goes first is on top, but when you do a replay, it is shown at the bottom.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Learning some new things about the how the interface is changing, but not changing in all the ways that I expected.
Hmm.
All right. So that is Will's Homeworld there at the bottom,
All right.
which is now being shown in the recording. Um, yeah, banker opening with a small blue, big green. This is very typical. dlwillson picks Goldilocks opening, small red. This is also very typical.
Hmm.
And I'm sure
I
Will
never
builds
tried
and
that opening. For myself, I never tried with red in my home world. It seems like a bothersome color there.
you said
Not
that
so
you don't
powerful.
like you said that you don't like red in your homeworld?
Yeah, it seems not so powerful, and I'd rather have a different color in there.
Okay. Yeah, yellow is the usual alternative to red. Um, I prefer red myself as a rule.
Interesting. I'll be interested in how this game continues.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure that dlwillson also builds a small green. Yes. And let's see what Will does. He picks, okay, red to continue. Blue also would have been a pretty sensible continuation since both red and blue have a small piece missing from the bank. Those economies will take off a little faster, but he picks red to continue in. I think that's smart since Will has an advantage in building reds because not having a red star, he won't overpopulate as easily.
Okay.
Yeah, dlwillson follows also with the red. If he hadn't traded for red now, he'd be in danger of getting locked out of red. So I think that's smart.
Okay, yes, because of that small red in his home world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I have this question that I
Oh,
always um, have in my mind. If I look at Wilson's homeworld, I wonder what if had happened if he had the red large and the blue small. Okay, it would also be a Goldilocks, but he wouldn't be locked out of red that quickly. So he had one more red in the bank.
that's true. There would be another red in the bank, but there would be so if he had picked large red, small blue, then there would be two small blue pieces missing from the bank. And I think in that case, Will would have traded his small green on his third turn
Oh.
there for small
In other words, I
blue,
would have.
taking the last small blue piece from the bank. And dlwillson
Ah,
would have been locked out of blue very early. Of course, dlwillson can always trade his large piece for one of the large blues, but the point of having a large green at the beginning is to sacrifice it for a shopping spree, as I've started
mhm.
calling it, to get lots of pieces at once, try to a race for the finish line in some colors economy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well, Will's turn now, and I saw already when I clicked early that he's going to do something a little surprising. He switched for a blue. So he traded that ship for another color once, and he's just done it again. So he's kind of lost a turn here, and he's in some danger of getting locked out of red himself.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I would expect dlwillson to build the last small red, making it harder for Will to get any red.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one more question.
Mm-hmm.
We can assume, or we know that this is for the Winter League. Yeah. It's not just a friendly game. We can see
Right.
that from this. Yeah.
Yes, this is for the tournament. I should have mentioned that this is in the captains division. These are players in the upper league
Mm.
of the tournament.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're hoping this will be a strong game.
So we see here Wilson took the opportunity to get the small red, locking Will out of red. Yeah.
Right. If he's going to get any red anytime soon, he'll have to trade his large for that red, which is not usually ideal.
No.
So Will, okay, but he's going to sort of do the same thing with blue.
Oh.
Will's got the small blue ships now, and if dlwillson is going to get blue, he'll either have to wait until he can trade. dlwillson will probably get some medium reds in the near future, which he could trade for a medium blue, assuming Will doesn't build all the medium blues too fast for him. Or, of course, he might have to trade his large green for a blue, but I don't think it'll come to that. So it's interesting when people race for two different colors.
Mm. Yeah.
Which is what's happening here. All right, dlwillson's turn. Okay, well, so he sort of loosens his red lockout by trading for a yellow. Of course, he has to trade for yellow before he can move a ship out. If I had been him,
I would have built a green and then trade that without undoing my red lock.
Yep. I would have strongly considered that anyway. Or he may have dlwillson may have decided that his red lockout was not all that strong anyway, since Will will get some medium blues in a moment here anyway, and he'll get red that way. And dlwillson might have said it's not worth spending the extra time getting a little green to trade to yellow, since it's just not a big difference. All right, well, let's see what Will does.
Yeah.
Okay, he spreads out his blue.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that Will likes to, he uses yellow systems in the early game a lot more than I do. I usually either, I try to, anyway, move either a green ship to a blue system or a blue ship to a green system.
I've been in there too, yeah, I agree with you, I like that too.
Yeah, or if I'm trying to spread out my yellows in the early game like this, rather than blues like him, then I'll usually move it to a green system so that I can build more easily. Will favors the yellow systems early on. I think he likes the opportunity for this ship to escape.
Why you would go to yellow? Because what I know in my games is that I first go one step away from my homeworld, but then later in the game I'm too far from my opponent's homeworld. So what I think a yellow system could do for you is hop faster, closer to your opponent homeworld.
Mm-hmm.
So you just hop to the next level and then make it green. So basically just wait one step before you get to the green or blue.
So he might want an aggressive colony.
Exactly.
Will might move his little blue to a medium green, so that he's building right on dlwillson's front doorstep.
Yes, like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see what dlwillson does. Okay, he builds another yellow. So Will still has a chance to get in on the yellows at the small stage if he wants, but I think it's definitely a better move for Will to build a medium blue, and then he can trade that.
Once Will is into mediums, he has so many blues, he can trade in any color. So.
Yeah.
I guess that solves for him that lockout of red or any other color.
Yes. That's all, if even if Dale Wilson builds another red, um, Will getting that medium blue will let him get into the reds. Now, let's see what it's Will's turn now. I bet he builds medium blue. Yep, sure enough. All right, and D.L. Wilson. If I were him, I'd consider either building red or, well, building red, yellow, or green, or spreading out the yellows. I think spreading out the yellows is what I would pick. Discover a medium green system. What do you think?
Yes, what happens now is Wilson is concentrating mostly in his own homeworld. I have the tendency to do that, but I found it's not that strong. After a while, you get like overcrowded in your own homeworld, and you still have to move out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better to diversify a little bit earlier in the game, I think. Yeah, so I would recommend that.
Okay, predicting that he'll move a yellow to a medium green.
Okay.
Yep. Sure enough, there he goes. All right, Will's turn again. What does Will do? I predict he'll trade this medium for red or yellow.
What about a green? Then he can move to his newly created star system and start building there.
Mm-hmm. You mean move his little blue to a green?
No, the green to the blue. So one of the blues that he has, he can trade for a small green or a medium green, and then next move turn it to system 3 there, to the large yellow, start building there.
He could.
I guess.
I tend to think that building a new ship is better than trading one of his ships that he's already got if he's just getting a color that he already has.
Basically, that would mean that I would predict he was building on a small green, and then move that out.
Okay, that's a sensible move. I bet he's going to trade the medium though. Let's see.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh, no, neither. He moved the
another yellow. Wow, nice.
Interesting. So he may be trying to keep the large yellows out of the bank, so that if D.L. Wilson continues with his yellow advantage, then there will be no large ships for him to get at the end of the road. But
because he did this, I realized why he might have done this. Look at the bank for yellow. There's only 4 ships left. So whoever builds the next yellow can then, if they have yellow, use the large green to build more yellow, and then get a large yellow. For instance, Wilson might be planning to get the large yellow in his homeworld.
Yep, he might be trying that. I think I would have suggested that it would be better off joining the yellow economy rather than trying to block it. But,
that's interesting. Yeah, he's blocking it anyway. Yes.
Well, we'll see how this goes. All right, D.L. Wilson's turn. I think if I were him, I would keep pushing the yellows. I'd build another yellow. He's not quite into the zone where he should sacrifice his large green to build a bunch of yellows.
Right.
Because he wouldn't get a large back.
You might want to diversify again. Maybe he moves the small yellow out, just like before. We'll see.
Could do. I think he should build more yellow at his home before he moves his little yellow out, because otherwise he won't have any yellow left in his home.
That also sounds good. Yes, let's do that.
I try not to trade away or move away my last ship of a particular color at the system. Yeah, so he builds. Okay. Builds there in the colony. So now he's got the mediums open. That's good.
It's like building and moving from your homeworld. Okay.
All right. Let's see what Will does. All right. Yeah, he goes on the shopping spree. He had his blues all spread out so he could sacrifice his large green. So just to be clear, I'm going to take this one action at a time. Will is going to sacrifice his large green in System 1. Goes back to the bank. Now he's got three build actions. Builds
now
a medium.
I see why I did that.
Builds a medium.
Why I had all these yellows ready. So soon enough, he's going to trade up for any other color he likes, and then he can immediately move away from this large yellows that he built.
Yeah. That may be it. All right. Well,
Blue yellow only. Wow.
So that's not bad. Will certainly has the size advantage in ships here.
It
Deal
looks
Wilson.
impressive. I've never seen this or even imagined that it could happen. That you have just two colors, and basically from there you start to diversify your colors. That
Hmm.
is an interesting idea. He must have he must have designed this way of playing. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, with all this blue, Will be able to diversify pretty quickly. He's far behind on diversification at the moment, but he can catch up about as quick as he wants.
He can do, yeah, indeed, he could. Yeah, you said it yourself. Maybe sacrificing is not the best idea, but he just built three ships, so he
Hmm.
can maybe get away with that.
And he's got three mediums. Deal Wilson hasn't acquired a medium just yet. I think he's about to.
Wow.
In fact, he might sacrifice his large green to build yellow, yellow, yellow.
Not sure.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any. So he could build two yellows at home and one in his colony.
Exactly.
There's three yellows in each, no overpopulation, and he's locking Will out of yellow entirely.
Oh, no. This
Will
is the
he could, yeah, if
Yeah, that would be interesting to see if they're both having locked out each other of one of the colors.
mm-hmm.
Wow, that would be interesting to see.
Let's see if he does that.
Yeah.
Nope, he did not.
Oh.
He did not. Um, he built a little green instead.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see. And Will, yeah, he needs that. So he needs to be able to build more ships again. So he's traded for green.
He's going
And
on one week later.
and if D.L. Wilson doesn't stop him, Will be able to build another large blue, trade it for red, maybe trade it for another color, build, trade, and just start gobbling up all the large ships.
This is really an interesting strategy that I should try.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, let's see what D.L. Wilson does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he moved one of his smalls from 4 to a new colony on 6.
Yeah.
That's
Now it becomes ideal to sacrifice his green in the next move.
that's fairly likely. It'll totally lock Will out of yellow. Will does have this turn right now
Yeah.
to trade
He
for
can.
yellow if he wants, which he probably should do. Although he's going to be very tempted, I think, to build the large blue. Let's see what he picks.
He can do that later.
Yeah. Okay. So he built the large blue.
There he is. He didn't do it later. Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have waited with that because what I would have done is gamble on my large green to do the same shopping spree later,
Mm-hmm.
but now get some yellow first, and then who knows what else I could do with the large blue later. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
D.L. Wilson. I'm predicting a green sacrifice. Nope.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, he abandoned that colony that was here to move to a new large blue system.
Yeah. So what I would say now is that Wilson's strategy is supposedly to be getting more yellow soon
Mm-hmm.
enough, and then invade Will's homeworld with yellow to destroy one of his stars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
We'll see what
he's got
happens.
these two advanced positions here
Yes.
where
Which I remember I said I was kind of wondering if Will was actually getting closer to Wilson's homeworld, but now Wilson is quicker, doing that
yep.
without having any yellow systems. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is shaping up to be a nice staging point for an invasion.
Yes, definitely it is.
All right, let's see.
Some red is going to appear.
That was
I predict red to appear.
I think it needs to appear pretty quick. Although I think if I were Will,
Hmm.
I think even now I would trade this either this big blue for a yellow, or at least one of these medium blues for a yellow, because not having yellow is a
But
really
why not,
crushing
if you want to do
situation.
that, why not just sacrifice your large blue and trade anything you like for a different color, and then your next turn you use your large green to build it all back, large blue and whatnot.
He could, but if he sacrifices his large blue for a bunch of trades, then not only will that large blue be back in the bank, but also some of
Or
the
the
blues
other.
that you just traded for. So it will be more
Maybe only
difficult.
two.
It will be more difficult to.
So perhaps the best move would be to trade a blue medium and then
Mm-hmm.
use your large green max to build those blues back.
Yeah, I would still do the large,
Okay.
but well, we'll see what
Anyway, we see
what
here that there's so many possible ways to
yeah.
go from here.
What we do, what we would do is less important than what Will is about to do. Let's
Exactly.
see.
Well,
Let's see what he thinks. All
interesting.
right, he
That's
picks. Okay, he picks invasion. Interestingly, so he moves his large
oh,
green
what? Okay.
there. So I'm not sure about that. That was his only green ship in his homeworld.
Oh, yeah.
So he can't build there anymore, and he doesn't have any red to actually do an attack with.
I find it an odd move. I'm not sure that I understand this. Maybe it's very advanced.
Now it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But he's at least. Oh well, So another thing is, if Will now gets some red so that he can actually force D.L. Wilson to retreat, then Will has an instant investment. He'll be able to sacrifice this green to build the large blue, and then
Hmm.
uh,
He's doing
maybe some other things.
what his choice of homeworld, suggests to do
Mm-hmm.
with his large green, which is
Mm-hmm.
interesting because he has another large in his homeworld, so it's not like it's undefensible. He can
Yeah.
always trade it for a red if he needs it later.
Right. So
Interesting. That's what it
this
is.
this
It's
this
an
also
investment.
this also of course is now a green ship at a blue star, so he can build more greens and then diversify there. That's
Yeah.
that's not
Okay.
maybe it's not as crazy as I thought.
Exactly.
Let's see how D.L. Wilson responds. Ah, okay. So now's the shopping
Yes.
spree. All right, so
Ooh.
I'm going to take this one at a time. He sacrifices the large green to build medium yellow, to build another medium yellow, and to build a large yellow. So this is a quite an aggressive move here. Um, he sacrificed the only green, or the only large ship that he had at his homeworld in order to get a large ship here into System 7. So Will now has the problem that if he doesn't
Mm.
get rid of this large green, then D.L. Wilson can sacrifice his little red to attack
Wow.
his large ship, and then suddenly D.L. Wilson's position is looking very good.
Exactly. This is really interesting.
Besides
Okay,
which,
I noticed another thing. I noticed that in other games that when you when you have small ships somewhere, you can call them scouts or so, and then you sacrifice your green, you can suddenly build larger ships. See, that's exactly what happened here in
mm-hmm,
those places where your scouts are. And that's actually a tactic that I just recently discovered, but I see it here in full swing. It's really interesting.
yeah, the small ships from the early game getting spread out and then building the bigger ships is pretty common, pretty good thing to do. So
Hmm.
another danger here I was going to mention is that if Will doesn't get some red right away, D.L. Wilson now can move his large yellow directly into Will's home, and since he has a red and Will doesn't, Will won't be able to attack, but D.L. Wilson will
Yeah,
be able to attack his
yeah, that will be over very quickly.
Will's large. So that's a problem. So how is Will going to respond? Will he get red? Will he? I mean, this large
Then
green is really
can I
trapped. If
respond to?
he can sacrifice it to keep DL Wilson from capturing it, but then he won't actually be able to use any of the build actions because he only has blue ships, and there are no blue pieces left in the bank to build.
Yeah, this is not good for Will, I suppose. But can I respond to one of your earlier suggestions that if Wilson moves his large yellow to Will's homeworld, um, even though he can attack, I wonder, he could also trade it for red, and after that it's also over.
Well, DL Wilson already has a red, so he's if DL Wilson if
It's
Will
quick
doesn't
there.
say Will passes right now, if DL
Mhm.
Wilson then moves his large yellow into Will's home, it's too late for Will to trade for red. So say he trades his large blue for a red. Well, DL Wilson already has red. He can sacrifice his small red ship to attack Will's large in his own home, and
Yeah.
now DL Wilson is dominating Will's home, and Will's lost.
Yes. Okay, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
It,
so let's
it
let's
doesn't
see what Will picks.
Let's see.
Oh, interesting. So Will, let's back this
What
up
did
and
he
do it
do?
one action at a time.
He
Will
sacrificed.
sacrifices a medium blue from System 5 for 2 trades. He trades a medium blue in System 3 for a red. So I think he recognized this invasion threat here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he uses his other trade action to trade his large blue for a large green. I think that's
Yeah.
about the best that he could have done. So now he's pretty nicely diversified. Having no yellow
Yeah.
is a pretty crippling problem,
Yeah. He's neutralized most of the threats, it seems,
but at
just
least
by one simple
mhm.
trade there.
Yeah, but at least he's got some red, so he can defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think there's no question in my mind DL Wilson is going to
But,
capture the big green.
if I was DL Wilson, yeah, you could do that. But what about invading the homeworld and get rid of the yellow in World's homeworld?
So he
One step.
yes. Um, so DL Wilson could start invading immediately, and he can blow up the yellow star. He could, for example, move in a small yellow now,
How
and
about sacrificing
whether Will
medium or
I'll finish my thought here.
sorry.
Uh, DL Wilson could move in a small ship now, and then whether Will attacks it or not, DL Wilson can sacrifice his medium yellow to move in. I would not bother with the large. I would move in the medium and the small ships. That would make 4 yellows in Will's home to blow up the star. But then DL Wilson has invested a fair amount in blowing up just 1 star. There's some chance that Will can start and just DL Wilson's stranglehold on the yellows is his biggest advantage right now. I think even more than
Mhm.
his forward position.
Okay.
Um, so I think he should not blow up all those yellows and give Will the opportunity to start building yellow. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
I think
What would
I
you
think
say is a good um, moment in any game to start invading?
I try to avoid invading until I actually have enough of a fleet that I can finish the game.
Right.
So Andy talks about this sometimes, that he usually doesn't um, start attacking until he's wound up his punch all the way back to the point that he's ready to finish the game in just a few moves. That he can
Oh, wow.
completely destroy both stars very quickly. If I ever blow up a star earlier than that, it's almost always because my hand was forced, and my opponent invaded somewhere that I say, oh, well, I really need to get these ships out of here, but I don't want to spend resources on just retreating, so I'm going to go ahead and spend these resources on attacking so I can blow up one star, and I'm close to blowing up the other one, so I'll just hope that I've got enough time.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so I think there's no question D.L. Wilson should capture the large green right now.
All right. And
Yeah, sacrifices the little red, captures the big green, and there was some star towing done in the background. The 7 system moved over to the left. I think because D.L. Wilson is now considered to be more in control. Well, definitely is more in control of System 7 than Will is. So, in order to keep D.L. Wilson's systems on the left and Will's systems on the right, they got rearranged.
I think there might be another reason. There's more pips of D.L. Wilson on the number 7 than in 60.
Yes. So this is something that I do when in my code for Homeworlds, is that I arrange star systems by the pip advantage of a player. And so in my drawing method, System 3 would actually be to the right of System 5, although that causes the systems to bounce around more than what they do here on Homeworlds Live. So this might be the better way.
Okay.
All right, Will's turn. Let's see what he can come up with. He's still got the blue advantage. He could even, for example, sacrifice his big green to gobble up the blues and make sure that D.L. Wilson never gets enough blue to blow up Will's blue star, even if D.L. Wilson is able to get his yellow star.
Great.
That might be a good idea. All right, I'm going to do this just one action just in case he does the sacrifice. Yep. Okay, so he sacrifices the big green to build medium blue, big blue. And there we are. So something I haven't mentioned up to this point is that because Will has no yellow ships, he literally cannot reach, even if Will had a large ship here at System 3 that he wanted to invade D.L. Wilson's home where he doesn't have a large ship, he can't get there because there are no yellow pieces left in the bank. He can't even discover a yellow star and then try to move in because he's got no yellow ships. So as long as D.L. Wilson holds on to the yellows, his home is quite safe.
Yes. In fact, I remember I was so enthusiastic about Will's strategy here. Now I wonder, it's kind of backfiring. Interesting, yeah. In fact, I think I could say that D.L. Wilson was successful in spotting the weakness of this approach that Will has.
Yeah, I think D.L. Wilson has played this pretty darn well.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens next. It's his turn. So he built a small green, if I saw that right. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
Why not? What else can you build?
Well, nothing at the moment. He could have.
Right.
So he might have done that. So.
No, I think it's natural.
Yeah. So something I'd notice here is that D.L. Wilson has no red.
But he's not in any fear of it. He can always do that.
No, he's not in any danger at his home, but he is in danger at his colonies. So if Will, right now, I mean, this is kind of crazy. But if Will moves his large to colony 7, he's threatening to sacrifice his medium red to capture both of D.L. Wilson's larges. I mean, D.L. Wilson would probably invade the now undefended homeworld of Will's, and Will would have to retreat. But
I think that would lead to a loss actually, because then Deal
Oh, you know
Wilson
what?
will
He
be.
can't. He couldn't retreat.
Oh,
So
that is
once
also
once
true.
once Will moves here,
You're right.
once if Will moves here, he can't get back out because he's got no yellow.
Well, after he captures them, well, he can at least get one yellow by his capture then, and then
Mm-hmm.
move back.
But then, so here's
But
the
that takes turns.
here's the little line that I thought of, but this turns out very badly for Will. So he should not
Yes.
actually do this. I
Yeah.
don't think he has a way to take. He's got no way to take advantage of the fact that D.L. Wilson has no red right at this moment. So what I was proposing was, Will moves his large blue to here, to System 7, but then D.L. Wilson moves one of his larges, either one, to Will's home.
Hmm.
Will can sacrifice this red to capture whichever large remains here in System 7, but D.L. Wilson will still have a large in Will's home that Will can't do anything about.
Yeah.
D.L. Wilson then can trade
True.
his
Yes.
this ship for a red, and D.L.
Yeah.
Wilson not only doesn't have a large in his home anymore, he can't even get his large back home because he's got no yellow power in System
Right.
7. So
So
that
in
turns out
system
badly for Will.
seven,
Will shouldn't do it.
I would respond a little bit to you. I get your idea, but he could capture a large and a yellow. See, unless Deal Wilson moves both yellow ships to Will's homeworld after the blue is in that system 7.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many options again. So, but anyway, you're right. Deal Wilson can make it so that the blue will be stuck there.
Yeah, and
That's
even if
basically
so, whether in this little scenario that we can't visualize well because we don't have the tools, um, even if D.L. Wilson only moves one ship from Colony 7 to D.L. Wilson's home, uh, Will can go ahead and capture
whatever he wants.
one of the remaining large in System 7, but it's already too late because D.L.
Yeah.
Wilson now has the time and the presence. He can trade his large in Will's home for a red, and
Okay.
even if Will does move a large back at that point, D.L. Wilson
It's too-
captures it, and
yeah.
he just starts capturing all of Will's ships one at a time as they enter his homeworld, and Will's done.
I have another interesting, even though
So
it's never going to happen, but I like another one. What Deal Wilson could do is trade his yellow medium in his homeworld. So then when he moves a large into Will's homeworld, he can sacrifice his medium red in his own homeworld.
mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have to trade up for red in Will's homeworld.
Yes, also
But
true.
he needs to trade one way or another. We'll see.
Yep.
But that's never going to happen, of course.
No,
Because
and Will, if Will ever looked at moving his large to System 7, he probably decided very quickly that it was a bad idea. I don't think he's going to
yes,
do that. All right, let's see what he comes up with that's better than my first thought.
sure. No, it's just fun.
Okay, he traded for one of
Okay.
his home blues for a little red. Okay, he's now opened up the blues a bit more so that D.L. Wilson could start getting blues and prepare to threaten to blow up Will's star. All right, let's see what's next. Yeah, yeah. So D.L. Wilson decided he needed a red someplace, so he went ahead and got one.
We understand why he used green for it, right? Because he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to put yellow in the bank.
Doesn't want to put any yellow in the bank at all.
Never,
And he
ever
didn't.
from now on.
And he didn't want to use his green back home because that is the only green in his home. Um, and I think he would agree with me that trading or moving away your last ship of a color in a system is generally a bad idea. All right, let's see what Will comes up with. He may want to build a medium red. That's how he catches up in material as much as possible. Or he may want to build a little blue to make blues as difficult to get as possible, because I think Will's best defense might be keep those blues out of the bank so that his star is never in danger.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, did I get that right? Okay, this is the trade for the red. Yeah, okay. So Will did build a little blue.
Yep.
I think he and I might be on the same page there. D.L. Wilson's turn. He builds a red as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Oh,
going to be...
I say as well, but that is not what Will did, so that didn't make sense.
No.
Yeah, he's stocking up on red. I predict another blue, I think. Another medium blue. Yep. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
See what D.L. Wilson does. Aha. Okay, so he's now got one blue ship.
Yes, he didn't want the all blues for
Mm-hmm.
Will. I would have done that. I was just considering before you pressed the button.
Yeah, that's one blue ship is not going to be enough to catastrophe Will's blue star, but it makes it so Will can't safely put any blues back in the bank, since D.L. Wilson might build it. Although D.L. Wilson needs to be careful now, because if Will does put a blue in the bank and D.L. Wilson builds it here, then it's probably worth it for Will to move in his large to blow up that whole fleet. But then again, probably not, because D.L. Wilson moves in a medium, and then even though there are no larges anywhere anymore, but D.L. Wilson moves in a medium, which is now the biggest ship in the game, preparing to attack stuff. There's no red there. It's okay. That's a long hypothetical. That's too much of a rabbit hole. I'm gonna withdraw from that one.
I would agree with the general statement that Will is in trouble. It's not Wilson that is in trouble. It's Will.
Mm-hmm. Will is having more trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see what he comes up with. Oh, did he trade that? He moved it. Oh. That looks like resignation by suicide here. Will moved a small blue from 3 to his home.
Oh.
Which gives D.L. Wilson the chance to move
it's like saying,
his blue
okay,
into Will's home. So this game is not like chess. In chess, when people are done, they typically just resign. But maybe it's because the endings of Homeworlds games are so interesting and so much stuff happens all at once that it's not too uncommon for people to make some very poor moves at the end to just hasten the end and let everything blow up. So I bet you D.L. Wilson's going to move in his he's going to move in his medium blue.
Somehow, so much more fun, according to me, than chess.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all these things that happen, you want to even see how it blows up.
Yeah, you want to watch it happen. So even when you're losing, it can be more fun than
Exactly. Somehow that's fun.
resigning. Okay, so I bet D.L. Wilson moves into the medium blue. Yep. Moves in the medium blue, calls the catastrophe. And there's really nothing for Will to do at this point. He can...
Oh, now it's not a Gilligan, actually. But,
and he resigned. Okay, but well, he wanted to watch one star blow up anyway.
Yeah, we saw it happen. It was interesting. I was so enthusiastic about Will's approach that I thought, I'm going to try this. It looked so promising. Then somehow the weakness was that these yellow stars kept less yellow in the bank, and D.L. Wilson was able to build all the other yellows.
Mm-hmm.
That was unexpected, I think.
Yeah, he really dominated the yellows. I think that's...
Look at that. There's just such a barrier between all the ships of Will and D.L. Wilson's homeworld. I never came anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me in this commentary, Bruno.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks to everybody who's watching. I'm hopeful that our audio quality is a little bit better this time. And I'll see you for the next one.
All right.